Hi everybody, wanted to do a quick little preview and review and just kind of touch base, so hopefully everyone's doing well. It's pretty crazy how fast the course is going as we're going to be approaching week 6, so we're definitely around that corner. So to recap a little bit of week 5, which we just got through, so we're looking at adolescence, so you guys had read about physical development, puberty, cognitive development, as you can see, is still a theme throughout this course. Identity theorists, so Erikson, Marcia, and Hill all had their different ideas of how adolescents go through and kind of, form their own identities. Social development, the role of family and friends and peers, sexual identity, sexual behavior, and sexual education, which you guys did a assignment and a film analysis on the education of Shelby Knox. So hopefully you were able to gain a great deal from that as well. And then, the more serious issues that were brought up, mental health issues, suicides, and substance abuses, which many of you had mentioned in your blogs as well. So again, I still encourage you to keep, doing the blogs as thorough as possible and keep shaking it up and responding to people that haven't heard from you. I know it means a great deal to everybody to get their work looked at, and especially to get different feedback from different people. So I appreciate you guys doing that. I think they're going very, very, very well. So thank you for that. A preview into week 6. We're actually going to be looking at 2 different stages of development. So this one's a little bit longer. So chapter 9 is going to talk about early adulthood. So in that, we're kind of talking a little bit about the rites of passages into adulthood. So things like religion, physical, educational, social, economic, all the things that kind of move us from that, that childhood-ish teenage years into what really adults have to kind of deal with. Physical development still getting brought up. Some of the things that happen in early adulthood socially, which are still major problems, things like binge drinking and substance abuse, are definite issues that occur during this time. Piaget is coming up again, so now he's got theories that pretty much go through the gamut of our development. So early adulthood is going to also be mentioned as Piaget. We're going to also look at gender and sexuality, as far as what it means to be a man or a woman and what sexuality means. And these are all very interesting topics that are very highly debatable. So definitely interested to see your take on that. Erikson, again, who is a life theorist who has stages on pretty much everything, is also going to come up again when it comes to early adulthood, and particularly talking a lot about intimacy versus isolation. Relationships tend to need to have more meaning, and in our society that becomes more institutionalized into what we would consider marriage. And then what I think is really cool, because it's so abstract, and I think you guys will enjoy reading this, is actually research on love that's written by a gentleman called Sternberg. So I think you guys will enjoy reading his take on that, because it is something that's so abstract, yet it's been researched as well. So I'm looking forward to your thoughts on that. Same week 6, we're going to go into late adulthood. Physical development, again, is going to be a theme. Alcohol and substance abuse is going to appear again. Sexuality is going to appear again. A little bit on the different roles of intelligence is going to come up. Social development comes up again. You have a couple of new theorists. One is Levinson, which is the seasonal life, and then Erikson's going to come up again as well. So there are definitely no shortage of different theorists that kind of give their take on how development works in these later years of your life. Marriage and then obviously divorce are 2 major things that occur during this stage. That's going to be talked about. And then just how complicated late adulthood can be, especially when you think of like work and family types of conflicts. So those are the general themes of the things that you guys should expect to see out of week 6. What's due? The blogs are going to be due again, so we're still trucking along with those. You're going to have a video analysis. It's going to be a little bit different. This time you're actually going to watch 2 videos. It's all pretty clearly explained on Moodle. One of them is going to be the Steve Jobs address, and there's another one which is going to be a TED Talk on Kelly McGonigal on stress, which I think both of them are incredible. And the directions kind of show you how to incorporate both of those into your analysis, so it's pretty well played out for you here. This week has a little bit of a difference, and I kind of previewed it last time. You have 2 types of exams on here. One is going to be kind of a multiple choice, and one is going to be in the fill in the blank. Just be careful you follow the instructions very carefully. There are time limits to this, so I want to make sure no one gets screwed up on that. And I do mention this in Moodle as well. The matching is extremely sensitive, not only to spelling, but also to the phrasing. So like if you put the in front of a stage and it wasn't supposed to be in there, it could maybe accidentally mark it wrong. I've done my best to give the key for this as many options as possible so it doesn't mark it wrong. I don't want anyone to freak out or panic if you take the test and you see a low score and you're convinced your answers are correct. I'm also going to manually go through all of them as well, just to double check that the scoring system wasn't too sensitive. So if you do get a score that isn't great, just rest assured I will look at it. And then after the final score gets put in and it's changed, if there's any questions, obviously email me and let me know. So that leads into week 6. Just as a heads up, and I kind of tell you this every week, keep looking ahead. There's a couple of big projects they're going to be due, and we only have a couple weeks left. So the earlier you can look at that and the earlier you can start, I think the better that's going to be. So definitely I encourage you to look into week 7 and week 8 just to kind of make sure your time stays organized. But we are definitely around the corner here, and as you can tell in development, we're already in late adulthood, so you know the train keeps on rolling here. Hope all of you have a wonderful week, and if there's anything you need or anything clarified, don't hesitate to ask. Thanks. We'll talk to you soon.